In the last session, we discussed about how to go with the card component, and we have seen how to create the cards. Let me open this project folder in Visual Studio Code. Code. So this is the cards what we have created. We have created some cards here. We have created one card component using the function card, and we have used the concept of properties. So from here we are sending the card details like the URL, the image, the name, description, and you can even go with the price also. We can even go with what price. Okay, that you can go with add up. That's the functionality you can add from your end. Now see, when we build the project, npm run dev, once we open the browser, localhost 5173. So this is the image we are getting. So what functionality you can add to this one? You can provide the price also. So try to do that price concept from your end. So go with the property price and read that price value in your card component using props. Now, today let us move to the next one. In this session, we'll understand about state and useState hook. The meaning of state is like state is a data that a component owns. State is what? It's a data that a component owns and change over time. As the application is running, we can even change the value of that data. Then, state is a variable. State is a variable that stores data and is bound to the UI. So state contains what? It's like a variable which is going to store some data, and that is displayed on your UI. So based on the changes in UI, the value also will be changed. Then, state automatically updates the UI. State automatically updates the UI when its value is changed. So when the value of your state is changed, then automatically the UI also will get updated based on the state value. Then the useState hook. This is very, very important. The useState hook is how functional components manage state. How functional components manage state. So by using this useState hook only, we can go to the state value and we can update the value. Then using state, we can make the UI dynamic. So using state, we can make our UI dynamic. Now, let me elaborate this using the syntax. And once we see the example application now, concept of state and useState is very simple. Let me go with the syntax. The syntax is we have to provide like this: constant in square brackets. We have to go with the state, means the variable, and we have to use set state. By using set state only, by using this set state function only, we can change the value of your state. Then we have to call here use state hook, use state, and we have to provide the initial state, means initial value for your state. Now, what is the meaning of state here? State is, it is the value of the current state. Set state is, it is the function that is used to update the state. Then initial state, it is the initial value of the state. It is the initial value of the state. Now, let me elaborate this concept using the example application. Once we see the example, this concept is simple. Create a folder state in components folder. Let us create one folder state. Let me remove all this piece of code. Import code. So this is a simple app component. Now coming to this components folder. Now let me create a one more new folder state. Now create a file counter.jsx. Counter.jsx in state folder. Counter.jsx. Let us write the code for counter. Now create a new component under state folder counter.jsx. Now start writing here. So whenever we want to use this useState hook, we have to write import useState from React. Import this useState from React means I want to use this useState hook in my component. Then create a function counter. What is our component name? Counter. So create a function counter. Here I'm creating the state here like this. Constant. The state is count. What is the name of the state? Count. It's like a variable. And to update your state, we have to use which method? Set count. So by using this set count method, this count value can be changed. Then call the useState and initial value I'm going with 0. So we have to use here useState and the initial value of this count is what here? 0. Now write the code return create one division and here we'll say in paragraph number of subscribers. Here we'll display the count value. So when I'm writing here number of subscribers count. So what is the initial value of count here? 0. So initially it is going to display 0 for us. Now let me create a button. I'm creating a button on click. When you click on the button on click, here what we want to do is here you call the function set count and you say count plus 1 and we'll go with subscribe. So when you click on this button subscribe on click, see the functionality. When you click on this subscribe on click, what functionality I'm doing? Set count as count plus 1. So it is invoking this function set count, and when I say count plus 1, the value of this state count will become incremented, by 1, means the count value will become 1. Now create one more button on click. The functionality what we want to do, set count as count minus 1, decrement the value, and we'll say yeah, unsubscribe. So when you click on this unsubscribe, the value of count will be decremented by 1. So whenever you want to change the value of this state, count is the state like a variable. Whenever you want to update this state, we have to use set function here, set count. So what is the syntax? The state name, set state, use equal to useState and provide the initial value. Right? That's it. Now right here, export export default counter. Export default counter. So this is the code for counter component. Let me paste over here. Clear this up to here. Any questions? Let me go with some styles for this counter component. Create a file counter.css in state folder. Counter.css. Let me create the file under state folder. Create a new file counter.css. Now go here, division button. So I'm giving the style for button. Margin, let me say 5 pixel. Border, none. Background color, let me say some green. Color of the text is white. The border radius, we'll say some 10 pixel. Okay. So this is the style what you are providing for the button we have created. Next step. Once this is done, next step, update app.js file. In app.jsx file, we have to render our counter component. In app.jsx, what we have to render here? Counter. Select this, press enter key. It is going to add the counter component. Right? Now, check the result here. Okay. The CSS styles are not applicable. So what I should do? In counter.jsx, what we are trying? Import single quote dot slash counter.css. So then only these styles will be applicable for our component. Now check it here. See initial value. See here, number of subscribers. Initial value of count is what? 0. See the code. Here, number of subscribers. I'm taking count value. What is the initial count value? 0. Now we are having two buttons. Subscribe, unsubscribe. When you click on subscribe, see the value is becoming 1 because once you click on this subscribe button, on click, we are calling set count. It's going to invoke this set count. And what it is doing, it is incrementing your count value. So now the value of count has become 1 here. See like that. So whenever you make a request here, subscribe, see the count value is getting incremented. So it is dynamic. So to make our UI page dynamic, we make use of state concept. Now see, when you click on unsubscribe, the value is becoming decremented. Increment, decrement. Right? So that is the point what I've given here. State is what? It's the data that a component owns and change over time. State is like a variable that stores data and is bounded to the UI. So the state is like a data, it is bounded to your UI. The state automatically updates the UI when its value is changed. See, whenever the value of your state is getting changed, see it is automatically updated. Right? Then the useState hook is how functional components manage state. By using this useState hook only, we can manage the state value. Right? Using state, we can make the UI dynamic. See, we are making our UI dynamic. Right? Clear this example? This is the code for app.js. Let me take one more example to elaborate more about this state and use state concept. We are having the task like this. Create a button with a value start. Create a button with a value start. When the button is clicked, the value should update with stop. The value should update with stop and vice versa. Meaning it's like a toggle button. It's like a toggle button. So when you click on start, the value should become stop. And once you click on stop, the value should become start. It's like a toggle. For this, let us go with a component. Create a file, toggle button. Create a file, toggle button.jsx in state folder. Toggle button. So app component, let me remove this counter. Now let us create one new component under state only. Click on new file. I'm going with the name toggle button.jsx. Now here you write import useState from React. Then now create the function toggle button. Create the function toggle button. Now here let us go with the state constant. How to go with the syntax is constant. I'm going with the label. Label is the state name, and to update your state, what we have to use? Set label. Set label equal to useState initial value. I'm saying start. So I'm creating a state called as label. Then set label equal to useState. And what is the initial value of that label? Start. Now create a function constant handle click. Handle click equal to, I'm writing the code in the function like this. Handle click equal to, now right here, set label. If the label is start. If the label is start, question mark, control operator, question mark, we'll make it as stop. Else we'll make it as start. Simple here. Simple logic. If the value of your label is start, then what I should change when you click, I should make it as stop. Okay, if this condition is false means I should make it as start again. So start will become stop. If I click on stop, it will become start. Right? Then. Now, right here, written. Create a button. On click, you have to call this function, handle click. So when you click on the button, I'm calling which function? Handle click. Then. Now, go with the label. So what is going to happen now? Here, it's going to take the value of your label. So what is the value of this label state? Initial value is start. So it's going to display start here. Once you click on start, it is going to invoke this function handle click. In handle click, what you are doing? You are calling set label. If label is start, means if the value of label is start, it should become stop. If the value of label is stop, it should become start. That's it. Now, right here, export default toggle button. What is our next step? update app.js button. Update this file app.jsx, go to app.jsx, and in division you render the toggle button. That's it. See the result here. When we open in browser, see we are having the button start. Initial value is start. Initial value of the button is start. Now when you click on start, it will become stop. See here, stop starts here. So this type only we call toggle buttons. You might have seen in many of the applications, mainly when you are playing some videos or audios. So the buttons values will be changed. Even we'll be having something like start, pause, like that, stop. All those things you can find. So this is the way we can manage that. So for that only we make use of its concept, state and use state concept. State and use state. This concept is very, very important. For the next classes also, we'll be using this concept. Then, what is this triple equal to? So this triple equal to, we call it as strict equality operator. What is this triple equal to? We call it as strict equality operator. So means it won't apply no type conversion. No type conversion. Like example, if you are taking here one double equal to 1. 1 double equal to 1. So the value of 1 is initially, here I am comparing with 1. So when you go with the double equal to, it is true only. It's going to return true for us. It's going to return true. So here it's not taking care of the key type here. So this one is integer, this one is string. No problem at all. So this is number type, this is string type. So it is going to return as true. But if you write 1 triple equal to 1 here, so this is false. This will become false. So here no type conversion. That is the meaning of strict equality operator. Got it? Any questions?